Hello, all you Harambe's out there. We are taking.
Oh, you meme.
You're interrupting my introduction. We're taking another little break from our D&D stories, and we are going to go through our top 5 least favorite video games, or the top 5 video games that are the absolute worst in our opinions for one reason or another. So let's introduce ourselves. I am Matt.
I'm Neil.
And I'm James.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. James, you want to start this one?
Do I want to start this one? Alright, well, the way I put this is games that I was hyped for, played a bit, and I was completely disappointed. So number 5, alright? Yeah, No Man's Sky.
Oh.
All right.
Ooh, careful.
Careful.
There's gonna be a couple people butthurt over this one.
You know how much problems the PC version of that has? Too many.
No.
So many frame problems. It's horrible. Basically, they describe this thing as this unlimited, this limitless experience. You know what you do in the game? You go to a planet, you explore the planet, which is the limitless part, by the way. You get in your ship, go to another planet, rinse, repeat, until you get to the center of the universe. That's it.
That's
it's
it.
Minecraft in space with space
But you don't
pirates.
even build anything.
No, you don't. Well, I haven't gotten that far in. I just played it for a bit. I'm like,
So it didn't
Nah.
draw you in.
no, I was disappointed. I was like, this is looking so good, and then I was like,
I was kind of excited for that, but
so was I.
don't waste your money.
I saw my brother. He got it for PS4, and he's like, "Oh, like I just got this game. You gotta come see it." So he's like mining on some planet for plutonium, and he's got the laser, and you
Yep, the
you
mining
mine with
gun.
the laser, yeah, and then you break the rocks or whatever. I'm like, oh, it looks pretty cool. I'm like, so what do you do like with all the stuff? Do you go and build houses? He goes, no, not really. I'm like, so what do you do with it? He goes, well, you need it. For what? Well, you just need it.
You needed it to build parts of your spacesuit and
Yeah.
your ship.
So then he's playing it a couple of days ago, like a week or whatever after it came out.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, come in here. I gotta show you something cool. So I come in, and he's blowing up a thing of aluminum. I'm like, Jesse, this is the same thing you were doing a week ago. He goes, yeah, but I'm like, no, bud. This is the same thing. It's just you just bought a repetitive game.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Nah, the only fun thing in that game is eradicating all life on every single planet.
Which is exactly what I would do.
absolutely.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the Gundam DLC, and then you can get me back in. Hear that? Hear that, people who made No Man's Sky? Putting Gundam DLC. You'll get me back.
You'll get the one.
And they're definitely listening.
They better be.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so for my 5th worst game, I'm going on the same kind of wavelength as James here, of a game that I was very excited for, as it's part of my favorite series of games. I put as my 5th worst Dragon Age 2, and I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the game, because I absolutely did. However, it was lacking so much of what the other two had. What Dragon Age 1, Origins, and Inquisition had. The characters aren't as interesting. The combat is like way fast paced. It's a little bit hectic. The dialogue options when you're in chats and stuff are just shitty. The whole game takes place in one city.
Yeah, it's never good.
There's a couple different separate points, also where the story ramps itself up to where you think you're about to complete the main goal. You finish it, it goes off without a hitch, and then the story just takes a drastic swing in a different direction. So it's very frustrating in that sense.
I mean, I played up to the part where you bring the Kunari to the other Kunari, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
I never played the second game.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's for fans of the series, it's probably one of the ones that you want to forget.
I mean, it's fun, but yeah, it's disappointing.
I still liked it because it was in the universe, but when you compare it to the other two games, it is like much worse.
Okay, so for my number 5 worst video game, I chose Destiny. Now, when that one came out, a lot of people didn't like it, a lot of people liked it. some were saying it's not really an MMO or an RPG or whatever. It's sort of just like this super repetitive game. And when it first came out, actually before that, when I played the beta, I was like, this is gonna be a really good game. It's got great mechanics. It felt like Halo, which is another game I do like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you take all this stuff and you put it in an open world MMO, and it's kind of hard to screw that one up. It's kind of hard to fail. And after about 40 hours of playing and questing and doing very similar missions in different settings, it just kind of started to wear down. And I sold it a couple times and kept buying it back just because I had this hankering to play it.
It had a draw.
It had this weird draw where I think the draw for me was the visuals.
Oh yeah.
It is a fantastic looking game.
Yes.
Probably one of the best.
Yes.
And I liked playing online and doing I think it's called the Crucible, where you do the PvP is called the Crucible.
Oh yeah.
And doing like PvE missions, like raids and stuff like that. That was always fun to get together and do that. But it lost its spark.
Too repetitive.
Yeah,
like you
it's
said.
just the same thing over and over again.
See how that's like a common theme right now?
Yeah, well, game developers are getting super lazy, which is going to be a big theme in all of mine.
Yep. Alright, number 4 time, I guess. My number 4 over here, you're about to see a kind of pattern here. Silent Hill Downpour. Alright? We got this disappointing...
It's a love-or-hate relationship with you and, is that Konami?
Yep.
Yeah.
That Silent Hill and Konami, they can't get card games right, and they can't get fucking video games right. Well, they used to. But, okay, so Silent Hill Downpour, let's put in perspective. You're a prisoner that, I forget how you died, but you somehow died.
Rip.
Or it's this weird dream, and then at the end it's this weird dream state where it's like the cop who's after you this whole time is actually the prisoner and you're the cop, and it's like, it's really weird. Don't pay attention to the story. Pretty much, it drives you through the storyline. I played a good couple hours before it just threw me no bones on where to go. It was just like, and here's the stop. And I'm like, where do I go? I know my goal, but I don't know how to obtain my goal. And the game does this thing where it shows you places where you can go, and it makes you think that must be where my goal is.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's just side shit. And it's like, here's side puzzles.
Did you ever play the spiritual successor of that series? The one that they... No. Sorry, it wasn't that. I'm thinking of Bethesda came out with one that was pretty much the exact same as Silent Hill. What was that one called?
What, The Evil Within?
Evil Within. It was sort of
The
like
guy
Silent Hill.
who made Resident Evil directed that.
Oh, I thought it was Silent Hill.
No, the guy who made
Okay.
Resident Evil directed that, and I pre-ordered that game. That game was phenomenal.
That was a good game.
Oh, that was
great. I play a little bit of it, but I'm not a big horror guy.
I mean,
Horror survival, but
it was it was difficult. It was great. But this
Yeah.
isn't about great games. This is about disappointing pieces of shit.
yeah.
All right, Neil.
No, it's my turn.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
mad, yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Switching it up.
So this one's going to be really interesting. For my number 4 worst game, I chose Narnia for the PlayStation
Wait,
2.
what?
Where did that come from?
Wait, they made a game out of that?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. People played it?
As long as this isn't the movie list.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is why it made my list for top 5 worst, because I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it was a very good.
The first Narnia was so good. The second Narnia I thought was good too.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that. This game I put on the list because of unbelievably frustrating AI. There's a lot of the parts of this game you had all 4 of the children with you and you could switch between them and they had different skill sets and stuff like that, but just switching between them was frustrating, and sometimes they'd walk in your way and block a path and stuff like that. Just overall not executed well, and that's not surprising considering how many movie to video game absolute flops.
It never works both ways either.
Yeah.
Like you can't. It's hard to make a good a movie into a good video game, and a video game into a good movie.
Yeah. All around, I would say I would put this there because I was looking forward to this video game so much. I know probably not a lot of people played it.
I remember beating it. I don't remember. The game wasn't that memorable for me.
Yeah, there was nothing really to it.
I didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4 is going to make a lot of people rage and maybe smash keyboards, even though
Is it going to cause me to punch you, possibly?
it could. I don't know.
All right.
Oblivion.
Okay.
I just did not enjoy it. I remember getting it for the PS3. I got the Ultimate Edition, or whatever it's called, the Game of the Year Edition.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get into it. I didn't like the way anything looked. I didn't like the mechanics. I felt like the story kind of had me interested, but it was a little difficult, and I'm as much as I like a good challenge, it just felt like it should have been as hard as it was in some points, and it just wasn't a drive for me, and I had a trouble figuring out what I was supposed to do, what I was supposed to go.
Too complex.
Yeah, and I remember like one of the first things I don't remember what the first mission you're supposed to do is, the first quest or whatever.
Go close a portal to Oblivion.
Yeah, I did that, and like I remember getting to Oblivion, and I had no idea what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't like. There was all these towers in the distance, and I ended up collecting blood grass for 3 hours.
Did you just like not listen to dialogue? Because they told you how to close it into dialogue.
It could have been it. I never listened. But
this is why.
Even after that, I found myself having trouble figuring out what I was supposed to do and where I was supposed to go, and I ended up doing some side quests. One where you had to kill an ogre that stole some potatoes, and he constantly killed me because he was way more powerful than me. And it feels like something like getting potatoes back shouldn't be that hard of a task.
I mean, doing that, you realize it was a successor to Morrowind, right?
Yes.
So like, and it still kept the same D&D system that Morrowind had.
Yeah, it did have the same like stat system.
And Morrowind was also that difficult. Fun fact. So, you would definitely not like Morrowind.
I would tend to agree with your choice of putting Oblivion in here. To me, it felt like a game where they had a lot of different ideas of what to do with the video game. They could have really made 3 or 4 games out of it,
Yeah.
and instead they shoved it all into one game and made it very saturated.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
I mean, like, I'm not disagreeing with your choice on it. It's just, we love it. I'm one of those people who love it, but because it's so bad, that's why we love it.
Wonderful.
That's me and the rest of the internet. Unless you find those, like, 10 people who say, no, it's a legit good game.
Well, you can have it. It's fine.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yep, cool. You can have my copy.
Even though I have the anthology at home, but...
We'll burn it in the woods.
Okay. That's back to me? Damn, this is unorganized.
My number 3, yeah.
My number 3, like I said, there's going to be a little pattern here. Silent Hill Homecoming. That's right.
Is that a newer one?
No, that came out after number 4.
Oh. I don't know when number 4 came out.
That's
So.
like 2000 and... before 2010, but I think like 2008 it came out.
Okay.
Basically what they tried to do was put you like in this scenario. They had too much going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one moment you're back home dealing with your mom that tried to kill herself for some reason.
Wonderful.
And then the next minute you're at a police station dealing with dick monsters. I'm not joking, they had phalluses for heads. And you have a shotgun and with like 3 shots in it, and like which I'm fine with because that's what survival horror is supposed to be. It's like you're supposed to struggle.
Yeah.
But there's a couple games, and this is one of those games where the breakable weapon system also doesn't work.
Oh.
Where after it's like you'd have a 2x4 swing for like 10 times and then it's broken and you have to fight with your fist, and it's like, God damn it, where's my axe?
Doesn't like the Silent Hill, doesn't that work like it's based off of your Deepest Sins or Deepest
All
Desires.
the monsters are based off your character's like psychological problems.
Penis monsters.
Being, I don't know what that monster represented, because that's one of the games that actually went in depth
You
of
play
what
as
the
you play as Freud.
probably.
Yeah.
But the only thing I will give that game credit for is it actually went in depth on what all the monsters represented.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Like if
Yeah.
you analyzed them all and got notes on them all, it would be like it actually tells you, it's like the nurse represents this,
that's cool.
this represents this, and I'm like, that's good, that's great. Other than that, it's like this game is horrible, and I'm disappointed. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. All right, so we're on number 3. Number 3 worst games. I put Destiny in this spot for me. Oh, copycat. For me, I was very pumped about Destiny, and once again, I can't say I didn't play it a lot because I damn well did.
Yeah.
But it got old quick, and by the end, I was just playing it for the sake of playing it. I'm like, I put enough hours into this already, might as well keep going. But you can max that game out really fucking fast.
Yeah. I remember. I feel like it's kind of my fault because I came in to Cody's house one day when we were all hanging out, and I'm just like, after playing the beta, I'm just like, oh guys, you gotta get this game when it comes out. Destiny, it's so amazing. It's all these great things. And it turned out to not be all of them.
You know what? It was all right, but just the disappointment. And when you turn that game on and you start playing it, you're like, holy shit, this is a good game.
Yeah.
But then you get a couple hours in, and it just falls on its head. The story is lacking.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those games that I want to revisit because it's come out with a lot of content, and apparently they fixed a lot of it.
Okay.
But maybe I'll give it.
Okay, yeah. So to clarify, I haven't played any of the DLC past like the first or second expansion.
Yeah, this is very early Destiny that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't played the Taken King or whatever the thing is called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to really gravitate towards story in a video game, and Destiny definitely didn't draw me in enough there. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, number
All
2.
right, Neil.
No, this would be number 3 for me.
Oh yeah,
number 3
you're
for
right.
me.
Number 3.
Okay, this is another one that's gonna have a lot of people butthurt because I know this is one that really splits down the middle and between two franchises, and I don't like either of them. Which would be, I don't like Battlefield. All right, I'm just gonna get that out there. I hate the Battlefield games.
Fair enough.
I
Come
don't
on,
like
man.
them. I don't like Call of Duty either. Now I used
Well,
to
at least
like
you
it,
don't like COD.
but just Battlefield is very. Talk about a game with no story, and a shooter game about military should have story.
I mean, Battlefield is the definition of multiplayer. It's what started these just multiplayer games.
No, I know. But I'm excluding the Bad Company games, because again, they had a little bit of story.
They had story mode,
And
which
that-
is weird.
And I don't know, I felt like I liked those ones a lot more. I stopped playing Call of Duty for a bit and went to Bad Company. And I like the characters and all that stuff. But I'm also including in the Battlefield games the Battlefront remake, which is just blah. It's just blah.
Space battles, man. We need space
It's
battles.
no good. And I felt really... I felt immersed in the Star Wars universe, because I do think it's one of the best made, but not best laid out Star Wars games.
Oh fuck, we're talking about Star Wars.
Well,
Because I'm talking about Battlefront, which is included in the Battlefield.
it's technically...
It's
Is
Star
it
Wars
really?
Battlefield.
yeah, it's Star
essentially.
Wars. It's basically put Battlefield and then put Star Wars skin over it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm saying the Battlefield franchise, and I'm excluding Bad Company because I do like that game, but I'm including Battlefront
Okay.
because it's essentially a Battlefield game.
So
I didn't know that.
So are you telling me, as a history buff, we all are here, you're not going to go on day one and pick up Battlefield 1?
I've heard some pretty shitty things about it, I'll be honest.
I've only heard great things, and I've only seen great things.
That's the World War One?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I'm buying that regardless.
I probably will. I might give it a chance, but I had Battlefield 3 and 4, and I did not like either of them.
It's because 4 took all the problems in 3 and didn't fix them.
Give me that Ross rifle and that McAdam shovel. Throw me in a trench, and I'm having a good time.
Hey,
Some
there's
some
already...
some downpour.
Yeah.
The,
Hey,
to
That's
make sure
out for the
everything's
beta,
series
and
up.
I've seen beta clips. Oh my god. The one beta clip I love is the guy taking like those old school snipers, like the World War One snipers.
Mhm.
And you know the old shitty planes? Like, you can fly those in this.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
he
you
just
can fly that
snipes someone out of it. And I'm just like, I want it. Because
That's
you just
sick.
see it crash and like, oh, yes, I need that.
I'll give Battlefield 1 a chance because I think that
I haven't seen
I
a good
need-
World War One game.
I need to give a World War 1 game a chance.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, especially because we're Canadians and we don't
that
get
that
we
was
don't
our
go-
time to shine.
We didn't get a lot of representation in any Call of Duty games, and Medal of Honor games, except Call of Duty 3, where you get to play as Canadians, but they're all French.
Wait,
so-
really?
Yeah, you
Huh.
play as a tank unit.
Oh.
In like it breaks it up through the storyline where you play as Americans, then you play as Canadians, then you play as the French, then you play as Belgium and Poland. I think.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was cool that
That's
way.
the only COD I haven't played was 3, so.
It's good.
Okay, so now we're on to 2, right? Because if we are on to 2...
What Silent Hill game do you hate now?
Actually, no. We're bringing Resident Evil 5.
Close enough.
Yeah?
It's
Actually, not close enough. That's a whole nother video, audio discussion, but you know.
Is that the one where the cover looked like the giraffe that was having sex? Or
No,
getting
that's
head?
that's 6.
Oh,
That's
okay.
6. Not a spoiler for anyone, but that's 6. But 5. So when this game was coming out, there was a lot of controversy around it because you're in Africa and the zombie apocalypse is or not zombie apocalypse, but a virus is breaking out in Africa. So everyone had problems with every zombie being black, and one of the main people being white, killing a bunch of black zombies. I mean, I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I played the game, and I'm like, let's put it this way: when you have a main character that the only reason he's memorable, not only for coming back, because he's an old time character, Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 1
Mhm.
and Resident Evil Code Veronica,
Mhm.
coming back, he was skinny as fuck. He's probably about my build in those 2 games. Comes back, looks like he's been pumping the gym ever since we haven't seen him. So like 20 years straight, he's just been pumping the gym. And he's just this big, beefy guy now that just punches boulders.
He listened to Shia. He just did it.
He just did it.
Does he look like Duke Nukem? That's what I'm picturing.
I mean, kinda, with like short brown hair and like
Yeah.
a Bluetooth device.
Oh,
And he punches boulders. That's the only thing he's
he
remembered for
knows
in
Rock
that game.
Smash.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's how you kill. That's one of the sequences in the final fight, actually. You gotta punch a boulder while you're fighting in a volcano. You gotta punch a boulder to make a bridge so you can get to the final boss after being separated from your partner.
To destroy the One Ring.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that sounds like a good game.
I have a physical copy. We can play it anytime.
No, that's alright.
Alright, so number 2 worst video game for me, in my personal opinion, would be Dead Island. As a fan of zombie games, I was...
This is your number 2?
Pardon?
This is your number 2?
Yes, this is number 2. I had a lot of hope for this. I think you sold it to me, you bastard.
Can we do this one together? Because number 2 is also Dead Island.
Oh,
for
is
me.
it?
Yes.
Is it? Wow.
I'm disappointed in both of you.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
I did sell it to you because
Yes.
I was so fed up with it.
Because it's your number 2 worst.
Come on, guys. The Adventures of Sam B.
Sam B's... whatever.
The most memorable character, but that's just because he's Sam B.
Yeah.
The worst part that had potential to be the best part is not having a gun until like
Yeah.
a good halfway through the
Yeah.
game.
That was definitely frustrating. The
Yeah.
weapons, that was another one where weapon durability, I think, was a little bit overboard.
Yeah, like
You-
yeah.
You'd get something good. I know for me, I play video games very conservatively, especially when I'm playing on a harder difficulty. And I would get a good weapon and just not fucking use it. I would just put it away and beat the shit out of zombies with my fists
Yeah.
just because I didn't want to break my
Yeah,
good
like
shit.
a knife lasts like a couple zombies.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's broken.
Yeah. It's very frustrating. I feel like it wasn't immersive enough. There's it went a little bit overboard with the weapon durability, like we said, and I think it just got to the point where like I didn't even want to fight zombies, which at the end of the day, that's really what you want to be doing in a zombie game. It didn't have enough survival aspects to be really a survival zombie game.
They tried to implement like an interesting crafting system that became not so interesting.
Yeah. But what I mean is, like, you didn't have to really look for food or water. Or
No,
you could just run around and punch zombies, but that wore off real quick.
Yeah.
Or you can punch beach balls as they hurt you.
Yes.
That was probably a highlight of playing that game. Kick a beach ball comes back, hurts you. Oh, beautiful.
And I enjoy zombie games that aren't afraid to be a little silly and do like specialty zombies. Like you have something like Left 4 Dead with you got like tanks and you got what are the spitters and smokers and hunters and all that stuff.
And chargers.
And they kind of tried to do that in Dead Island with those
They
riot
did.
zombies,
They did,
the
yes.
big ones, but
Yeah.
it didn't work as well.
It didn't work as well, and then I guess for me, swinging it the opposite way, I like the realistic zombie stuff.
Yeah.
I like the DayZ kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it didn't have either enough realism or silliness. It didn't have survival aspects or just straight up combat aspects. I think it tried to do everything a little bit, but it didn't really excel in any one thing.
Yeah, and they're really trying to pump out that second game, but it's just not happening. Like I think it's made, isn't it? They just-
No, well, I haven't been paying attention to
They
it.
came out with a trailer 2 years ago
And-
saying that was supposed to come out in 2014, and it still hasn't come out.
And they released another trailer for it recently. I haven't watched the new trailer,
I
but
think they've just remade the game.
I think they're just like waiting, like getting out all the bugs, sort of deal.
That's good. If they
Yeah.
did it well, I think it could
Because
be a
let's
good
face
game.
it,
Yeah.
Dead Island 1, as much as I'm the only one here who loves it, there was a lot of bugs. There was a lot of bugs in that game.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I think it's you number one because that was.
Do your honorable mention. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
go on.
Yeah, alright, so I gotta do my honorable mention for my highest disappointment. Alright, so, honorable mention. I only got 3 here that were really a disappointment and everything. One of them, it was just like, I saw the case, it looked cool, and then disappointed me because of how short it was, but I'm not gonna go with that one. Instead, I'm gonna go with Dark Souls 2. As a...
Really?
That's interesting.
It is an interesting choice.
What, for someone who enjoys difficulty and Dark Souls 2 not bringing difficulty to the table?
Now that's the one where when you die, your health goes down until you can fix it, right?
That's number 1 as well.
Oh, is it?
It's just, okay, the problem with number 2, so while they were making number 2, the guy who worked on number 1 was busy making Bloodborne.
Oh.
So they had a totally different approach. They pretty much, if you play, how it goes is to play Dark Souls to get into the series, you play Dark Souls 2 first.
Okay.
Like this before 3 came out, because
Okay.
I don't know how the order you play in now, but you gotta play, if you want to get into it by easiest to hardest, you go Dark Souls 2, then you go Dark Souls 1, then you go Demon Souls, because Dark Souls 2 is the easiest one of all of them. And I was like, I wanted to play this, and I was expecting to die every 30 minutes, not
Oh, boo-hoo.
not kill 2 bosses and then die.
Now, did you like Bloodborne?
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Okay.
That was absolutely beautiful. It's Dark Souls, but in the Victorian age.
Yeah. Interesting concept for sure.
Yeah.
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 I mean, some of the bosses were horrifying, like the Cleric Beast. Jesus. The scream it made. I don't know how they made that scream. I don't know what animal makes that scream.
Huh.
But they made it. But, for my number 1 most disappointment game that I was so hyped over that I was like, they're gonna do it right. They took this series, made it shit. They're gonna turn around, and this is gonna be the game to do it. Resident Evil 6. Fucking piece of shit. Disappointing. Fucking... Did I mention it was a piece of shit? So, we got returning people. We got Chris. I didn't want to see him again. We got Leon. I was pretty hyped for that. We got the little kid from Resident Evil 2 returning as a grown adult. That's pretty neat.
I
Then
like when they do that stuff.
and then we had the Albert Wesker's son as a new character. I was like, that'll be interesting. And then they had, after you beat all the story modes, after you beat Jake's story mode, which was Wesker's son, Chris's story mode, and Leon's story mode, you got to play as how the spy chick from number 2. Bloody hell if I remember her. She was always in a red dress. The name will probably come to me later. I'm just brain farting right now, but to break down the story modes, Leon's story mode is what we wanted. It was like, here's a horror game with zombies. And actual zombies, I should say. Except for a giant T-Rex you fight at the end. That turns into a giant fly. After that.
What?
Oh yeah, it's a treat. It's a treat, alright.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
And then, Chris's story mode. You're playing Resident Evil 5 again. Which we all want to do that. Jake's story mode. You're playing Resident Evil 5 with a bit of the good Resident Evil. It was okay.
What did you think about the movies? I like the first one a lot.
Yeah, the first one is really good.
I really like that.
Everyone says they like the first one. I hated it. I liked Apocalypse.
Which one's that?
That's the second one.
Oh.
See, I hated the second one.
Yeah.
That was the one in Raccoon City. That was the only one that was accurate to a Resident Evil game.
I don't think I've seen any of them past 2, but I know there's another one coming out.
Final chapter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it, but I'm not saying I'm gonna enjoy it. It's just Resident Evil has really hit the shitter. But Resident Evil 7's coming out. Looks good. I'm hyped for that. Hopefully it's not the same thing.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess on to me. My honorable mention is going to probably come as a shock to some people or disappoint some people, whatever. It's Pokemon Go.
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah. Alright.
Not to Pokemon Go to you.
Yeah, I know. So, Pokemon Go. I got into this game. It's really addictive. To me, why I put this as my honorable mention is because the complete purpose of the game, for me, now everyone plays every game for a different reason. Pokemon Go for me was about getting out and walking around and exploring and this and that, right? Finding different Pokemon wherever you're going. That's been absolutely tarnished by the fact that they've been making a lot of changes to the game. They can't get the tracking system right, no matter what the fuck they do.
Not back to what it was originally was.
And to me, I find that everyone who's playing the game now, in order to be productive and keep up with other players, you have to plant yourself between a couple Pokestops, lure them, and just sit there. Now for me, walking around and, like I said, exploring was really the purpose of the game in my mind. Pokemon Go, not Pokemon fucking sit. So that is why it would be an honorable mention. I still have it downloaded. Like I don't hate it. It's just gone downhill so quickly, and it's like died so quickly in my mind that it definitely deserved a spot on here. And number 1 for me is a game called Dragon's Dogma, which to me,
It had the potential to be so
oh
good.
my god, it could have been one of the best RPG games possible. So a couple quick reasons why I put this as my number 1 worst game. No, it didn't have fast travel. You were, yeah, exactly. You were walking, and the enemies would respawn, so you'd be fighting the same groups of bandits, the same groups of harpies, and for anyone who's played this game, you know what fucking harpies I'm talking about right at the beginning of the game. Repeatedly, over and over and over again. You get a quest, go do it, and then fight them on the way there, fight them again on the way back. Just all the time. It had this system of pawns, which I thought was a really, really interesting idea. You could make your own pawn, which was essentially a character that you would have with you as like a party member, and they would be like uploaded online, and other people could use your pawn in their game. it just didn't work out very well. Usually your pawns were absolute idiots, and you could kind of customize their tactics and stuff like that. I don't even fucking know if it worked, because my guys just seemed to charge in head first and get themselves killed every 5 seconds. And I was spending half of the combat reviving them.
Yeah.
It had a couple of really good elements, like the boss fights. Have you played it?
I've played a bit of it. Not too much, though. I mean, like, it does have its potential. The boss fights were its biggest potential to be great. But other than that,
The boss
it
fights.
was a steaming pile of disappointment.
Yeah, it's another game where it has a really enticing beginning. Like, no spoilers here, but when you stick a dragon in the first, like, few minutes, really, where you're introducing your character and it's the antagonist, it's definitely adds some interest. Yeah, the boss fights to me reminded me of Shadow of the Colossus a little bit.
Yeah,
Where you
just
could
a bit.
kind of climb up on them, and some of them, they felt truly massive. That was really where the game was good, but it had a lot of flaws which really held it down.
My turn. Okay, so my honorable mention for most disappointing, worst game, whatever we're calling it. This one I don't think is necessarily like bad as in the worst game. It was just super disappointing. I grew up a big fan. Not farn. I don't know what that is.
I think it may be a plant. I don't know.
That's a fern. I grew up a really big fan of the Mortal Kombat series.
Oh no!
Am I gonna hit you?
I also grew up as a big fan of DC Comics.
Oh, I know.
So
Okay,
when
never mind.
they
You're
tried
fine.
to
You're
put
fine.
both of them together, and they made Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. I was kind of excited. I didn't get it as soon as it came out. I got it like a year after or whatever, and I just was not blown away. The fighting system was kind of clunky. I liked the idea of I can't remember if this is a theme in previous Mortal Kombat games, where you can shift stages through like an animation halfway through the fight. Or, like you punch a guy through a wall and then you like it like shoots him to the other side of the world or whatever, and you start a new map.
Well, not that drastic.
No,
but
well, this one it was, because like Superman would like take you somewhere or whatever, or like the Flash would like, you know.
That's a
go
little bit
somewhere.
overboard.
Yeah. I don't know, and I just didn't feel like the characters blended well together. I don't remember how the story worked and how the two stories collided and like where the universes came together. But it's just one of those things where like, why you don't need to make a fighting game out of this, because Superman could just destroy everything.
And let's be honest, you don't play those games for the story.
No, and like, yeah, no, Mortal Kombat hasn't really been for the story, although I felt like Mortal Kombat X did a good job of that.
Yes, it did.
But yeah, it was clunky and weird, and I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought it was. But that's just my honorable mention. Now let's get into number one, which could rustle some jimmies. Rustle some Harambe's.
Every time you say that, it's like I agree with you. I'm waiting for the
But
one I
this is
disagree
one
with.
that for some reason was beloved. The Assassin's Creed 2 series.
Oh, fuck those games.
I agree with you
okay.
completely.
Well, maybe I'm just reading into some wrong reviews about people who disagree with me.
About pay? You mean you're reading into paid reviews?
Exactly.
Yeah.
IGN. We're looking at you.
Called out.
Yeah. So,
Hashtag exposed.
yeah. Well, I believe that falls under fair use. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. I mean, I liked Assassin's Creed 1. I love Assassin's Creed 3. I could have put that on my best games list, but I didn't. The graphics were the big point where I was just like, these games aren't very good because they look like PS2 games, even though I had it on the Xbox 360 and it shouldn't look like that. The graphics aren't the most important thing to me. The voice acting is so bad. It's people trying to pull off terrible Italian accents, and it's not very good.
No, you play as Ezio in that one, right?
You play as Ezio Auditore.
Who is a much worse character than...
He's a super bitch.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like they just tried to take the typical Italian family story, because you have. They did a good job of diving into some of the history of that, like the Borgias and stuff like that. If you know anything about Italian history, during the Italian Renaissance, but like I don't know, in those games, it's cool when they sort of blend it with history, but it comes to a point where that one I felt relied a lot on Catholicism and essentially saying that like the Catholics are the Templars, which I just they've never specifically called out a religious group or like a certain group and just said they are the Templars. Like in 3 it was kind of like there's British people working for the Templars, and in number 1 I don't remember, I think the Templars were just the Templars, weren't they?
No. Catholics are Templars. Fun fact, because in number 1, they were in Jerusalem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so basically,
like I know the whole game has biblical ties.
Yeah.
I know that.
And it's all about Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And how they were some futuristic city. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
Got really sci-fi really
Oh,
quick.
it did.
Yeah.
But basically, it's like basically, I believe number 1 takes place where it's like in the middle of a crusade.
Yeah, it was during the Crusades, I know that. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it just seemed like they wrote them fast. Because, I mean, they came with number 2, and then they came with Brotherhood, which I gave a shot. It was like, meh, it wasn't that good. Because they tried to really heavily rely on that multiplayer, but it just didn't work out. And then I never played Revelations. But
Like you're saying, that Ezio was a super bitch. I agree. 1 and 2. Or the first Brotherhood and 2, he was a super bitch.
yeah.
But when he was Old Man Ezio, I can give some respect to him.
What did you guys think about the Animus and the parts of the game where you get yanked out of the Animus?
Not the biggest Desmond fan.
You know, I was
didn't-
fine with it,
did not
but
I did not like the way they ended that whole thing in number 3.
why?
I thought
That
it
was great.
Super dumb.
No, it was great.
Not
Best
so
way to
much.
kill a plot off.
Not so much, because then I don't know. I played some of Black Flag, and I didn't feel like it was going to continue.
I mean,
outside of the Animus, wasn't going to go anywhere.
there is no more outside Animus. Now it's just, I think the storyline is now, and I will get corrected, I know that much, but I think the storyline is now that they're using Desmond's dead body as like, well, the Templars are using Desmond's dead body as like the catalyst for all the memories. So like, basically he died, and then the Templars went in, it's like, let's take his dead body so, we can figure out everything.
Yeah, because I remember in Black Flag, you're playing as a, what's the business called? The company that makes the Animus.
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever they're called. They have employees who tap into Desmond's memory and study all his ancestry. But I guess I never really connected the dots as to how they're doing that. I figured they just had it all in file.
That's how they did it in Unity. That's how they do it in whatever one came out. Whatever one came after Unity, the one where you're the British guy.
Syndicate.
Yeah, Syndicate. Which now they're stopping. It's great.
Oh, it's done?
They're taking a break from it, they said.
See, I liked those parts where you get kind of yanked out of the Animus because it. I only played the first game.
The
honestly.
good one.
I thought it was alright. To me, it got extremely repetitive, and that's why I didn't continue on in the series. Actually, I did play 3 a little bit, and I quite enjoyed 3.
3 was great.
But yeah, those scenes where you kind of get yanked out, and you're like, oh wow, I'm playing a memory inside of a video game. I know the video game really takes place inside the memory, like that's the point of the game. But it's almost like the Princess Bride, where you realize that it's someone reading a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Matt, you spoiled the movie. Jeez.
No, you straight up,
Yeah,
right from the
that's
beginning.
how it starts.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
I believe that's it.
Yeah, that is the worst games.
In our opinion.
In
Which
our
you don't have
opinions.
to listen to.
Don't listen to Neil's opinion.
About
Anything.
Dead Island?
Yeah, about Dead Island,
Or
actually.
about anything.
I mean, what was your list again? Dead Island, mostly. That's it. Everything else I verify.
Yeah, so feel free to comment, let us know if you agree, disagree, and why. Thank you for listening. Check out our top 5 personal favorite video games if you feel like listening to more positive video game stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to hear us being Debbie Downers, you
Exactly.
can listen to us being,
Harvey Hoggers or Susie Seat Kickers.
or Tommy Texters.
Tommy Texters.
And, there was Sally something. There was Sally something.
I don't know.
I see it all.
Seat kicker.
Sally Seat Kicker.
I know, it shows every time I go to movies. It's like, there it is. There's a new term.
Yeah.
Chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Alright. Bye, guys.
No catchphrase. Let's see you later.
That's your catchphrase now. It's
Okay.
just catchphrase.
Okay.